Ranked number 5 on the list of hotels with the best service in India is the Taj Rambagh Palace in Jaipur. A favorite with travelers, it has been featured previously on this series as the #1 luxury hotel in the country, and the service that they offer is every bit as exclusive. The first palace hotel in India, the Rambagh Palace is the finest testament to India's legacy of royal luxury. Spread across 47 acres of landscaped greens, the most significant service it offers is the very experience of treating this grand, exquisitely well-maintained palace as your home. The superbly trained staff leave no stone unturned in indulging their guests' every need and more. Visitors are treated with the immaculate attention reserved for the royalty of past that can now only be fantasized about. Luxury and service do necessarily go hand in hand, with one comfort catering to another. So once again on the list of hotels with the best service in India is one which was also featured amongst the top 3 luxury properties in the country. The Taj Lake Palace in Udaipur is always a pleasure to visit. One of the most romantic destinations in the country, this palace hotel has dedicated itself to the pursuit of decadent indulgence. Always intended as a palace of pleasure, it does not deny its patrons any excess. Shifting reflections from the lake water lend it a dreamy air, and the service is always discreet and attentive. The spotless white facade is painstakingly manicured and maintained to the highest standards, and moonlit dining experiences are unmatched. In third and second place on TripAdvisor's list of hotels in India with the best service are Casa Candolim in Goa and Saj Home in Fort Kochi. Bordered by the golden sands and gentle waves of the Arabian Sea, Casa Candolim, a boutique hotel in Goa, is an oasis of peace and tranquility. Renovated in the traditional Portuguese-style cottage, this resort retains a traditional flavor in its decor and style. A charming outdoor coffee shop serves light meals and breakfast, while the owners themselves are always at hand to ensure a comfortable stay for their guests. In second place is Saj Home, a humble homestay in Fort Kochi run lovingly by its owner Saj. This little homestay can make it to the list ahead of huge hotel chains, is a feather in its cap, and goes to show that great service is not always a factor of the amount you pay. Coming up, the #1 hotel with the best service in India. On the last leg of my journey, I find myself once again walking down the now familiar streets of Fort Kochi. Just a few yards away, I know the cantilevered Chinese fishing nets must be preparing to bring up the night's catch. The towering rain trees, another legacy of the Portuguese history of the port, spread their wide canopy over the gardens of the Old Harbour Hotel. At the #1 spot on TripAdvisor's list of hotels with the best service in India is the Old Harbour Hotel in Kochi. It has only been 4 years since its revival with a new lease on life, and already awards seem to have become a habit. On this show alone, it has featured amongst the top 5 in 3 of the 4 different categories. And given its 300-year-old history, the return to glory seems just predestined. Built in the Dutch style of architecture with hints of Portuguese influences, the Old Harbour Hotel is situated right across the old port, where centuries ago steamships docked and sailors crossed the land. It was the first hotel of Old Cochin, and later it remained a residential home to employees of English tea-broking firms until it was left unused for a period of time. Many years later, the hotel has once again swept itself up, dusted off the cobwebs, and opened its doors to travelers from across the world. The reputation for service it once enjoyed, well on its way to being reclaimed under the stewardship of its new owner.
Our mantra is you walk in as a stranger and you depart as a friend. I'm sure most of the guests who stay here, by the time they leave, they know most of us by our names. We look forward to seeing them again, and sometimes when they come back, I look at my colleagues and look at them, and it's like seeing a long lost friend.
La 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 la.
Lovingly restored, keeping the original facade and architectural elements intact, it brings alive the old hotel of previous seafarers. The whitewashed walls are a fresh contrast to the writing greens of Kerala, and period furniture mixes with varied art and antiques to leave an eclectic impression, one that is carefully left unspoiled by omitting the rude business of check-ins.
I myself, being, a traveler, I know sometimes receptions can take, 2 or sometimes maybe 3 minutes or maybe 30 minutes waiting to get into your room. And that could be really upsetting. So we do not want to give you a bad start. We want to make it easy from the, make you just slide in. You walk into our steps and you slide into our rooms. That's the way it is.
The sense of laid-back ease and comfort extends into the tropical gardens, landscaped with a deliberate carelessness that is both natural and comforting. Guests love to lounge around the infinity pool, surrounding by winding pathways and a wide variety of tropical plants. Despite the open space, there is a service in the sense of privacy maintained by the hotel by encouraging staff not to hover.
We just let people be. And I think in today's world, it's a great thing. It's the biggest service you can do by letting people be. The staff is there, but they are non-intrusive. If you want something, they are there. They are not, we don't be in their face. Intimacy is also considered for us as a luxury.
The property has 13 rooms, each of them charmingly named after the old streets of Fort Kochi. The walls are spotless in shades of cream, and touches of color add a subtle glamour to the simplicity. Glass doors that open onto private patios allow lots of sunlight, and the furniture sits close to the ground, leaving room for air. Instead of just having interesting artworks on the walls here are artworks in themselves, like this glass window that frames an antique on the wall behind it, with a live creeper for texture and natural sunlight for shadows. The rooms are all artistic, stylish and subtle, while retaining the South Indian and Portuguese texture, though my favorite part are these open-air bathrooms. The service is visible in the detailing, like this handmade soap that is so delicately packaged like a precious treat and served in a tray of natural palm and green leaf. It looks and smells good enough to eat. Thankfully, guests are not obliged to eat the soap. There is an excellent restaurant on the property which serves a mix of Kerala and continental cuisine. Travelers reviewing this property on TripAdvisor frequently comment upon the style and the elegance of the building and repeatedly recommend it to fellow travelers. Having been here myself and sampled their service and hospitality firsthand, I have to agree. To view the complete list of awarded hotels, log on to www.tripadvisor.in/traveler's choice.